Okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. If you don't remember, it's been a while. I'm Justin, Josh, and Ken coming to you from our standard studio, the Geek Cave.
And I will take it from here. It has been a moment since we've been back to you guys, and there are various reasons. One of the first ones is I had a very serious surgery a while ago, and it was a vasectomy because I haven't had sex in 10 years, and, you know, shit happens. You got to revolve from it. But unlike Ken here, my balls still have function, and they still can feel things. Ken and his girlfriend, Justin and his girlfriend Swati went over to Europe for a trip for a while, and he got lured into a neo-Nazi cult. But we got him back now. It's all okay. There was this whole Interpol thing and whatever. But we are proudly back with you guys. They had no clue that was coming. It's all a lie. And welcome back to CNA. You want to go now, buddy?
I don't know what to say.
All right, let's just start with me then. A secret invasion. Really, you guys can't just pivot, improv, either one of you? All right, secret invasion. That's what we're talking
There are
about.
curveballs, and there are curveballs that are on fire when they come at you.
It's kind of what my dick looks like now. Just kind of like, you know, an 85-degree angle. Just
Keeps getting worse,
Secret
Justin.
Invasion. Ladies and gentlemen.
you guys gotta stop me.
Just
at some
take it
point,
here,
all right?
Justin, take it.
The long-awaited MCU show has had its penultimate episode, and we haven't really talked to you about it at all. We haven't been around since the show started, but man, I feel like Disney or Marvel and Disney are kind of getting back on track with Guardians of the Galaxy being our last movie from the MCU, and this being the most current. We're on a good trend, and I'm feeling good heading into the Marvels because, man, it's hitting hard. It's got that deep espionage. It picks right up in the kind of feel you had from Winter Soldier. Totally digging it.
Yeah. This is what we wanted. We wanted the Marvel shows to each have their own genre. And we've seen that for each of them. And honestly, Winter Soldier is one of my favorite Marvel films. And this has given me that same vibe. You know, it's, like you said, it's espionage. It's, you know, behind the scenes, it's everybody doing things that if you don't know what they're doing their job right. And I am loving this. We're getting Fury back. Ken, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just
That's
going
all
to
I'm
say, my
saying.
favorite part is that we're actually getting character development from Nick Fury. He's not just this guy manipulating things behind the scenes, popping in, popping out. He's got character development here. He's going through a crisis, clearly. He's not the Nick Fury everybody's used to, and it keeps coming up in the show. So, for me, we're learning more about his past. We're learning more about he's been fucking married to a Skrull. Holy shit. That's my favorite part. It's just seeing Samuel L. Jackson being this character that he likes, that he loves, and character development.
Yeah.
It also hits hard. They're not pulling their punches. It's got to be the most visceral, violent MCU product to date.
Yeah, very violent. Very violent.
Yeah, because this isn't...
Spoiler alert, not pulling punches. Carry on.
Yeah. This isn't a superhero movie where, you know, like you knock somebody out and they fly off the screen, they're probably still alive. These are people who are pulling rifles and guns and shooting each other in active combat situations. And I think the best, spoiler alerts again, God, we got to stop saying that, was the last episode we saw where Fury was trying to defend the President of the United States from an attack from the Skrulls pretending to be the Russians. And I mean, they just opened up. It was not a Marvel
I would
show.
say I think Josh might be an episode behind because that wasn't the last episode.
Oh, no, I saw
Okay.
that one after that. But
We're 5 episodes in, and we have lost 2 major Marvel characters.
Yes.
Killed on screen.
Yes.
And
Unprecedented.
one of the things I thought when I watched the fight choreography and how violent it is and how visceral it is maybe Daredevil, the show, will still hit as hard as it did on Netflix
I hope
because
so.
we're seeing that level of kind of violence and violent choreography, fight choreography. Some of the stuff that Kingsley Ben-Adir as Gravik has been doing has been just fantastic fight choreography.
Yeah, and I've always said, and just kind of basing on what Justin said, Daredevil told a story in their choreography with the fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something internally, and I still believe that the Winter Soldier did the same thing. That there was a story in the fights.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we have that same feeling here, and that's what I've really enjoyed about this.
Agreed. So, like I said, we're having to talk about 5 episodes at once because we haven't had a show in a while. But you know, kind of I guess fast forward to where we're at now. You know, we've seen a progression throughout, and we all wondered how they would handle this without the Avengers being in the show. And I'll admit, at times, it's one of the few negatives I'm going to call out is the excuses for why they're not involving the Avengers are pretty lame.
Yeah.
They're pretty lame.
Yeah.
But
it's personal.
Since we don't have the Avengers and we don't have the Fantastic Four yet, they've had to find new sources of DNA for Super Skrull.
Yes.
And they've come from some interesting places.
Yeah, it's a neat mix. It's an interesting, eclectic mix.
I had to ask these guys about them because I apparently missed the screen when they viewed, but they
It was early on. It was episode 2, I think.
Yeah. Flora Colossus is Groot. Cole Obsidian was the big guy that Iron Man and Spider-Man took on.
Yeah.
That
the Children of Thanos.
Yeah, the one cut his hand off with the
Yeah.
thing. Were the others Extremis, and there's another one.
Extremis and the Frost Giant. I feel like so far all we've seen exercised by the 2 people that are now Super Skrulls have been Groot and Extremis.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything
Frost
about what the
Beast.
Frost Beast will bring to the table or what the strength you would expect from Cole Obsidian.
I think we may have seen a little bit of the strength of Obsidian. You know, just in various moments.
His thing is, and I remember the character. His thing is like it's not invulnerable, but it's very tough skin, hard skin, and super strength. It's his thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what allowed Gravik to get out of that attempted assassination in this last episode.
Which was brutal as
It
hell.
was.
Gosh, so much brutality in the show.
And what I think, what stood out to me is that he's losing the Skrulls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's being so extreme, man.
Who does he expect to lead into this new world?
Right.
He's about to bomb half the Skrulls in existence that are living in that community. And does he really think the rest are going to support him after that? His end game is getting murky now.
Right. The forest for the tree things. He can't see the bigger picture.
That's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah, very narrow vision kind of thing, which is normal for a zealot. I mean, that's kind of what you expect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like this actor, Kingsley Ben-Adir. I don't know what else he's been in.
He was in Barbie, wasn't
he? He was in Barbie.
We'll get to that.
How did you forget those eyebrows, sir?
He was in Barbie. Which I don't know. I don't know how the season finale is going to hit now because that's going to be in my head. Him making Mai Tais.
Who doesn't like a Mai Tai, man? Come on.
But yeah, I don't. Before this and Barbie happened, I'm not sure where he came from, but he's another solid villain added to the coterie of the MCU, and we need those. We've talked about for years how Marvel has either had poorly fleshed out villains or murdered them.
Yeah, pretty much. You know.
So I hope they don't kill him. I hope they keep him around. The Super Skrull being a threat going forward would be nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need a coterie of villains that isn't dead, that aren't dead.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting to me is we've got this British government who know the Skrulls are there and who are on board with it, but like completely separate from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Fury and all of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the British S.H.I.E.L.D. basically.
Yeah, and I don't...
The British Nick Fury, she is a
bad
ass.
She has not hesitated at
Good
any
Lord,
moment.
so confident. My
put a bullet in the dude's knee while watching his bodyguard walk in, gun to her head. Like, look at the blood. Let's do this.
She's
Like,
a great juxtaposition to the somewhat tepid Fury that we're seeing.
yeah, and that's something I think we have to talk about, because that is something this show has shown us, is the blinked Fury, the snapped Fury, who has come back. They've talked about he's not Fury anymore, and he went up to Saber, you know.
And
And
he talked about how he's been at Saber for a long time.
mm-hmm.
I've gone back and watched the MCU recently, and I don't know if it's just changing the story because of what's happened, or if they're truly trying to tell us every time we saw Nick Fury and he didn't have those 3 scratches, we were seeing a Skrull.
Yeah.
If we were seeing Talos. Because he has it every time we see him now.
Mm-hmm.
He has it in the ads for the Marvels. He has it in every scene in this, but he didn't have it before the snap.
Yep. No.
Interesting.
How much of the Fury we've seen in the
Was
MCU
Talos
was
standing
Talos.
in? Nice.
Yeah.
That makes it more interesting. I mean, but I think the ending of episode 5 was him shedding that skin and becoming the Nick Fury. I mean, just loosening up. He got his patch. He put his trench coat on.
Yeah.
And he walked out. But it's driving me crazy. Who did he call? He dropped a call to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He called somebody. Who is it? Is it Captain Marvel? Is it Photon? The Black Captain Marvel? Is it, who did he call?
I think it's going to be somebody we don't expect. I think it's going to be.
I want it to be like Hawkeye to walk the fuck in or something. Jeremy Renner to walk in.
I'd be fine with Hawkeye walking in. You know, my feelings.
He's doing great now. You see
No,
the special?
he's walking.
He's
now.
doing
Fuck
great
you.
now.
He's doing awesome.
What's the special, man? He's doing great. Okay.
Or Kate Bishop just rolls.
Which is a miracle
walls.
considering that machine rolled over his head.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I mean, I expect it to be somebody who we do not expect. Just insanity.
I'm trying, but I can't think about Hawkeye with his walker and then pick up his bow and then grab his walker.
I was actually wheeling in.
Oh my god.
He's still be a better shot than me.
Oh, shit.
Come on, man.
Woo.
That's just not.
That's Andy Hawkeye.
You know, Hawkeye had a brother in the comics who was just as good an archer as he was, but he was a criminal.
What'd they call him?
That's
Criminal.
Just his name.
Convict.
Barton. I'm pretty sure that you read those, right?
That doesn't sound familiar. Maybe I missed that one.
Okay, I guess not.
I don't
Those
think you
were
made it
pieces
up.
the
I
dog
believe you.
came from.
But I didn't read that whole series. I read half of that series.
Okay, then yeah, his brother came back around.
Matt Fraction.
Sure.
Great writer.
I thought that was his name.
No.
Hawkeye versus Fraction. That sounds like a bad math class.
Fraction's not a bad name for a villain, though.
It's not. I'm gonna cut you in half, divide you by 2, bitch.
No, it's one of those guys that can replicate himself.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So it's like he's just standing there and there's like quarter me.
Each one of them's just a fraction of himself.
They all have to add up to 100% though. So this guy's 25%. This guy's 10%. I don't.
Son of a bitch! I'm missing 1%. Where is he?
What's that great
This
question?
tall. He's running across the countertop. There he is. You'll
What's the great question? Would you rather fight a chicken the size of a horse or 100 horses the size of the chickens? You know, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, just. And I still stand by Peter Griffin and Family Guys, where you just put up in a child's stall, and they're just elementary school kids coming at you, and you just post up and you just kick them, and you just murder them one over another. You know, just murdering toddlers.
We have moved into child murder, so we're gonna move on.
I'm just saying, if you kick a kid in the head,
just said
he's probably
good.
dead.
You're good, man. You're good. We're good. So
And you could sell his body parts.
Barbieheimer.
Okay.
So
Before we
Barbieheimer.
get to Barbieheimer, I did want to mention the writer's strike and how it's impacting Deadpool 3. We were getting some amazing stuff coming out of Deadpool 3, and now it's just, dead in the water for a while. But I want to go episode was something because a while back I made a prediction on this show that I thought Deadpool 3 was going to take liberties and adapt Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Except because they need to get rid of the Fox characters that they have on contract until the 2025, I thought they would adapt it to Marvel Kills the Fox Universe. The pictures that have come out from sets are almost all but guaranteeing that's exactly what's happening. There is even a shot of them fighting with what appears to be a crumbled 20th Century Fox logo, seemingly like they're in that place at the end of time where everything gets sent by the TVA.
Yeah.
So, chalk one of them predictions up for us.
We're hoping for that.
Yeah,
I mean, we got no problem with that.
I was eating flaming hot Cheetos. And
You got in your eyes?
I rubbed my eyes.
We have an
Just roll
emergency.
up your eyes.
Now your eyes are as red as your skin
It's
from today.
fine.
Jesus
Everything's
Christ.
fine. Carry on.
So-
But the
talking
writer's
about
strike
child
is a big. I mean, it's a big deal. Y'all know. I mean, that's going to limit the movie trailers we get because
It
they
is.
can't pay writers. They can't. It puts a freeze on a lot of things, including how they shoot a movie. And so right now they're shooting this movie. They're making this movie, but they can only do. They can't violate anything. Like they can't do reshoots. They can't do anything. All they can do is what they have scripted and set up, and they can't improvise anything. It's if anything this.
Well, they can't use the actors now.
Yeah.
Well,
Actors walked off the set.
but a lot of the writer's strike doesn't allow them to improvise a script, and Ryan Reynolds is an improviser, especially with the Deadpool character.
Oh, yeah,
And so there's people standing in the background while they're filming this and making sure Ryan Reynolds only does what's in the script. Y'all realize he can't do that. He can't improvise. He can't touch. He can't do anything because of the strike. So I'm not saying it's going to hurt the movie, but we're going to get a different movie than we would have got without the strike.
The actor's strike hit just a few weeks after the writer's strike, so I doubt they got a lot done.
Yeah.
Now, there is no acting. The actors have walked off sets too because of the SAG strike. So we
I
have
just joined like a week ago, though. Right.
Oh,
2
no,
weeks.
it was
2 weeks ago.
It's longer than that.
No, it was about 2 weeks
Was it
ago.
2
The
weeks
writer's strike was about 4 weeks, about a month ago.
Okay.
2 weeks after that, the actors joined.
Okay.
Well, so there are no actors doing anything right now. In fact, Tom Cruise propositioned SAG to let him go out and stump for Mission Impossible, and SAG told him to go to hell.
Yeah.
SAG said nobody does anything for Hollywood right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal. You know, we had this with the writer's strike back in, what was it, 2009, 2008?
All I remember is it ruined Heroes.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it ruined Heroes. Justin, that's the exact mention he brings up. And yes, it did ruin Heroes. But we had like 2 years of just terrible bullshit on TV. But now we have the actors siding with them. And so this has weight. It's the first time since 1960 that the actors have stood with the writers. And so you're going to see some changes. I mean, there's no way around that.
As much as I hate not having the entertainment, I stand in 100% solidarity with the actors and the writers.
Yeah. I mean,
Some of the stuff that the studios are asking for is unconscionable.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to get into that because that's your no.
Because we don't know what's actually true or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things being thrown up right now. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. So, but yes, totally.
We will always
they're
support.
being screwed for streaming. They are
Yes.
totally screwed for streaming rights and being paid for these things that make tremendous amounts of money. Well, they're still getting paid their tiny little fee, and yet this baby that they birthed and created is become this tremendous monster,
Sean
$1 billion.
Gunn said it the other day.
We're not going to stand up for anything for the writers. We're just going to stay non-political. Just, what? Just fucking.
Sean Gunn said
You
the
just
other
definitely stood up for the writers for streaming.
Did you think I didn't stand for the writers?
No, I did not think you didn't stand for the writers. I just think we were not going to talk
Anyway,
about it.
Sean Gunn recently said
That's what you-
that apparently he was in a show called Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen it. But he apparently was in it a good bit. and it's one of the most streamed shows on Netflix apparently.
Yeah.
And he says he gets about $100 a month in residuals for one of the most streamed shows on Netflix.
It's that much. I thought he held up the check that said 9 cents.
Oh, well, maybe so. It wasn't a lot of money.
That's horseshit. I mean, that's truly horseshit.
Especially when the CEO of Netflix clears almost $200 million a year.
And Netflix increasing their prices every 6 months. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
But before we delve into Bernie Sanders territory, we will move on. Barbieheimer. I am the only one in this crew that actually went and experienced Barbieheimer this weekend, so we will be doing spoiler-free reviews. But these two movies did something we've never seen done in the Hollywood industry before. They did not compete against each other. They worked together in a marketing campaign that can be called nothing short of brilliant. They put all their marketing together, some of the posters and T-shirts and the co-marketing, and it's been brilliant. And what it has created is the 4th largest box office weekend in history. 3 weekends have beat it. Endgame, Infinity War, and Star Wars Episode 7 are the only weekends that have been bigger than this Barbieheimer weekend.
That's wild.
Barbie opened up domestically with $155 million.
Shit.
Oppenheimer, a rated R film that is 3 hours and 5 minutes long,
Is that long?
opened at $80 million.
Jesus, I pissed myself. Sorry.
Carry a Sunny Delight check.
Inside baseball. Justin, tell your AI to turn the AC on in here, man. I'm about to start sweating.
Alexa, set the thermostat to 72 degrees.
It's too hot.
The AC is set to 72.
Apparently set at 78, sir.
There.
Anyway, I saw Barbie Thursday night, and I was amazed at the reception. I go to just about every Marvel opening on the Thursday night. I've gone to every Star Wars opening. I've seen people cosplay. I've seen people come, and there's always a few.
He has cosplayed as well.
Barbie hit hard with these folks. There were little blonde girls all the way up to 40-year-old women in Barbie cosplays and it was everywhere. You walked in and there were folks in pink dresses. There was astronaut Barbie. There was Dr. Barbie. It was amazing. I did not realize the scope of Barbie. It is huge. As far as the movie goes, it's clever. It's endearing. It's got a really great cast. Margot Robbie shines. Ryan Gosling does what Ryan Gosling is supposed to do in his role. America Ferrera is good. Will Ferrell's funny. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, while also, approaching some fairly serious material. Chauvinism and patriarchy and what Barbie used to represent versus what Barbie represents now, and the reality of what it wants to represent and what it has represented. It has a very endearing, girl power focused message, while still being light and funny and silly. If you are a toxic male, if you are one of these incel woman hating folk, don't go see this movie. You will leave angry. If you're not one of those people, I highly suggest it. It's a fun, lighthearted movie. It will piss off you people.
This has been a recommendation from 3 cis heterogender white males to go see the Barbie movie.
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself an ardent feminist, and this movie is every bit the girl power and representation that you wanted it to be, while still being very clever and very endearing. So, 2 thumbs up for Barbie. I like what it did, and if you have a little girl, definitely take them to see it. As far as Oppenheimer goes, he's got grown girls mostly. They would probably still love it.
Let's talk about nuclear bombs.
Oh, is that what we're on now? Okay.
Because of the way you made it such a thing.
Make it a thing.
You have two daughters who would absolutely love it. I
They
think
probably already seen it anyway.
One of them has.
But the other half of that is Oppenheimer, which is Christopher Nolan's latest 3-hour opus, and it is dark, it is heavy, but it is, as I told them earlier, is a masterclass in movie making. It will win Oscars. If it doesn't win Best Sound Editing, it will be a travesty. Nolan uses sound so well in this film to create tension, to create unease. You'll just have to see it to understand what I'm saying. Incredible use of sound, incredible cinematography. Cillian Murphy will probably be nominated for an Oscar. Robert Downey Jr. likely will be nominated for an Oscar. In my opinion, he was the best performance in the movie. Robert Downey Jr. was stellar. It's great to see him do something outside of Iron Man and kind of stretch his acting legs out, because I used to think of him as one of the truly great actors in Hollywood, and I thought he put together a great performance in this. It's not a comfortable movie. It's not a feel-good movie. I walked out of it saying I need to go watch something funny.
So maybe Oppenheimer, then Barbie.
Yeah, it is a heavy movie, but it is truly cinema at its finest. So, 2 spoiler-free reviews of the Barbieheimer experience. Go out and see them. Support the theater. Right now, it's important for these studios to know the value of these actors and these writers. So go out and support them. I feel like that gives more bullets in the gun for the unions to try to get this resolved at some point so we can get new entertainment. But as far as the current state goes, these are 2 titans of the movie industry right now. And
I do have one question about Oppenheimer.
All right.
Do you think that Kermit the Frog could have been a good replacement for Cillian Murphy? You know, just the fedora on, just not so much. No.
The bomb worked.
I have to ruin everything. That's my role, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, we killed like 2 million Japanese people. Whatever.
They actually dropped the number in the movie, and it was lower than I had realized.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's still truly a tremendously awful loss of life, but they put it at around 250,000.
Oh, that's not as bad as I've always thought.
Nagasaki.
Still a lot of fucking.
Still a lot.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not.
But when he threw out 2 million,
I thought it was like in the millions. That's
Hiroshima.
yeah.
Nagasaki.
We don't learn history well in America, just for the record.
But they were good movies. Highly recommend going to see both. Both very different, disparate movies, and probably why they hit so well together and why people went and saw both of them this weekend.
And I like that it's getting people back into the theaters. You know, like this is that time.
It was crazy. I tried to book Oppenheimer Thursday night. Couldn't find a seat other than the neck craning ones. And that was pretty much went all the way until I saw it this morning at 11:30. That was the first time I could find a seat that wasn't in those seats I'm not willing to sit in.
No, I think that's wonderful. You know, even us a little bit have been like, we'll just wait till it streams or whatever. But it's time to start getting back out there. Shut up.
Not this guy.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but
I'm
it's
a
time to
commercial board for the AMC A-list.
I got nothing.
Like
Get us home,
Just
Justin.
like
or
the Wayne's
Ken.
World endorsement, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Ken, you want to get us home for the night?
Oh man, we got anything else to talk about?
No, I think that's all we got. Next month we get Blue Beetle. The trailers continue to look good. They say that the projections are looking dismal. I hate that because it looks like it's going to be fun. And I love Jaime Reyes and the character and Ted Kord and all of that. So I hope we all go give it a chance. I was encouraged the other day. I was in Barbie with a theater of nothing but young teenage girls. And when the trailer came on, I heard several whispers around me that looked good. And they didn't know who Blue Beetle was, but they wanted to see it now. I hope that continues. People that don't know what it is, I hope they go give it a shot. Because DC needs a freaking win. We ain't talked in a while. Flash sucked.
Did we even cover the Flash?
No, we did not cover Flash at all.
That movie is so fucking absurd. But we don't have to do it. Let's not do it.
No, wait, we did cover Flash, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, because you guys like just shat on the hospital scene where he was.
I think that was just us talking. I don't think we did a show
It
about
was
it.
us drinking on the couch, but
Yeah.
Man, I black out way too much.
we get Ninja Turtles in 2
Yes,
weeks.
sir, you do. I get it this Saturday.
That was what I was actually going to bring up. Is that Justin and I, and it's because of him, we have tickets to an early premiere of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the next one. And we wish Kid could come with us, but he's going on vacation with his family, which is great. So
I don't know, man. I kind of want to see Ninja Turtles.
This is one of those moments you need multiplicity so you can sit the double with your family and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in the house.
You know, he would send a copy of the copy, and it would just be like, I'm bailing people out of jail at
Like,
some point.
Ken, will you help? She touched my baby's knee.
That is one of the deepest 90s cuts we're ever going to do. And if you know it, post in the comments.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the show is over.
Oh, that's how we're ending it now?
Yeah, we're going to end it on clone fucking.
Yeah. Well, they didn't fuck each other. They just...
They kind of did.
I mean, well, a clone had sex with his wife. That's not clone fucking. It's not like... You know, you're doing the dirty trombone, reach around and fucking your own clone and jerk them off. I think it's different.
Clone fucking versus
Bring it
fucking
home, Justin.
clone.
Bring it home.
Yeah, let's just
bring it home.
Yeah.
So, we always say it is a great time to be a nerd and be alive, and there's lots of nerd stuff out there. It will be dwindling for a while, so go out and enjoy what you can while it's still there. And as always, come talk to us about it at CNA. Excelsior. Steve.
Complete neural authority.